Hello everyone, we're here to talk about drives, both optical and magnetic, okay? Now, first we're going to start with optical. What we have here is a DVD drive. A lot of people are, no, this is a Blu-ray. This is actually a Blu-ray drive. A lot of people are starting to go away from these things simply because laptops have gone away from them. In order to make laptops smaller, thinner, and lighter, they get rid of these first. So you're starting to get more and more software that are digital downloads or on thumb drives, which USB port on a laptop is very tiny and doesn't weigh much. So they're starting to go that way. I still have a lot of legacy software on DVD, on CDs, so I need these. This is a 5 1/4. They're not all that expensive these days. They pretty much replaced the floppy drive. The old 3 1/4 floppies, I had 5 1/4 floppies. Up until a few years ago in the garage. I finally threw them away. Decided I didn't need them. I'm putting 2 of them in there simply because if I do play some games, I play some older games, and they want the CD still in the drive. So having 2, I can just leave the CD in the game I like to play in the drive while I use the other one for various things. The case I bought has room for 2 of these, so we're good. I think it even has a floppy bay. I won't use it for that. Up next is your old typical hard drive. This should be 3 1/4 size. I might be wrong. Don't quote me on it, but this is a 4 terabyte drive. I have 3 of these going in the machine. One is 4, one is 3, one is 1. So that's 8 terabytes of hard drive space. This is the now, I have 3 of those for a reason. I'm partitioning off my save files onto 3 separate hard drives. That way if I have a hard drive failure, I'm not losing all my data. I also have a 3 terabyte external hard drive that I use to back up my more critical files. I haven't done that in a little while, but I should be okay here because the failure this time around was more along the lines of a power failure or a failure that doesn't involve the hard drive, so let's just leave it that way. This magnetic media doesn't fail that often anymore. It's an old thing. We've been using it for a long time at this point, 20 years. The failure rates are small. When they do fail, they usually give warning because the way they fail these days is they lose track of where files are over time. So you have sectors on the hard drive failing. I'm not going to get into too much on that one because I'll just bore some of you to death. Others are like, please talk about that. Basically, hard drives don't fail because of mechanical failures anymore. They fail for other reasons. They still work, the data is still there, they just can't read it. Well, yeah, it could be mechanical. The other type of drive is a SSD or a solid state drive. This is the 2 1/2 inch size. I want to say it's that. I know one says Corsair and one says PNY on it. That's because I've got 2 SSDs. One of them I don't really use much anymore. The new computer, if it has room, I might put them both in there and just put some secondary stuff on the other SSD. These are the same thing as your memory cards in your cameras. Okay? Just bigger. This is a half terabyte drive, 512 gigabytes. Why an SSD? The read-write time on this is literally 100 to 1,000 times faster than this. What does that mean for us? With one of these, the computer almost turns on immediately. It boots up very fast. There's an even quicker type of SSD out there, and I didn't purchase one. Again, I said in an earlier video, an M.2 drive. They are expensive for the really fast read and write times. And when I mean really fast, I mean it makes this look slow. And this is much faster than the magnetic media. So there's a quick rundown on the drives. I'm going to have to go in a second. She is getting her hands into some paint. There's a quick rundown on the drives. Again, I'm going to have 1, maybe 2 SSDs in there. No, you don't get that. I've got an exploring 2 1/2-year-old. Can't sit still and is going to get what she wants. But anyhow, there you go, a rundown. We're going to have 3 hard drives. I'm going to replace a couple of those hard drives over this next year with just another big one. I'm not going to do a RAID array. I'm not going to do a mirrored array. I've done those things in the past, and then I had problems with Windows recognizing it and lost all my data repeatedly. That was back in Windows Vista days, and I got fed up and just quit doing it. Okay? So instead, I prefer to just plug in a huge backup hard drive and back up everything that way. All right, so there's a talk through magnetic media and optical media. And what I'm doing with the new computer. I think some of you will find it educational, some of you won't care, but you know, I'm making this video for the ones who really don't know anything about computers and would like to learn. Have a good one.